Hello everyone and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria and today we are unboxing, walking through and getting our first impressions of the Flower of the Magic Fern Tarot Deck. Now this one jumped into my hands the other day when I was browsing one of the very few left metaphysical stores in my area, shockingly enough. But it's my birthday month, so I get a little bit of a discount there for that. So this deck chose me. I've never seen it before. I don't know really anything about it. It does say local author, so I'm assuming that the author is at the very least Canadian or from British Columbia. Could also be maybe south of the border a little bit, not too sure. But this is a Ukrainian tarot by Tania Andrushko. There we go. That might be how you say it. So we're going to open it up. We're going to have a look at it. And I do have to say, this deck comes with the most absolutely buttery soft, most gorgeous velvet bag. This is just to die for on this thing. I didn't even know it came with it. And then they put it with it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, seriously. So anyways, this absolutely gorgeous bag that fits that deck very perfectly, custom made for it. So let's open up this thing. This isn't a very hard box, okay? So very high quality box, and it should be. I'm not sure if it's self-published or not, but I didn't find it on like Amazon or anything like that. So it could be maybe on Etsy. I did quickly look up the author, and she does have her own website. So I'll put the link down below to wherever I find that you can buy it. This was literally the only copy in the local metaphysical store for me. So and it was expensive. It was like $83, which I don't normally spend on a deck unless there's something really special about it. And considering I didn't think twice, there we go. So here we go. So Flower of the Magic Fern Ukrainian Tarot is really beautiful. And the back of this here. This Ukrainian tarot deck is the first of its kind, a creation of the heart that shares the classic tarot cards expressed through the magic and vibrancy of Ukrainian culture, traditions, and my own Ukrainian ancestry. My intention for this sacred gift is to inspire humanity to expand in love and peace. The war in Ukraine has shown me the true importance of these treasures and has ignited my remembrance of love for the traditions and culture that I grew up in. The richness of Ukrainian culture is vast. I was challenged to fit the depth of meaning that I wish to share with you in this 78 card deck, yet my soul was guided and the voice of spirit spoke clearly as to what was meant to be shared. In the creation of this deck, I cried, I laughed, I struggled, I danced with joy, and I found my flower of the magic fern. This magic flower is said to bloom only once a year on the shortest of nights. As the legend goes, the flower can only be found in the darkest of forests and only if your heart and intentions are pure. Through this initiation, I found my flower of the magic fern, and my hope for you is that this deck will help you find your own. From my heart to yours, Tania. Beautiful. So, as we all know, regardless of where you live, wars are typically not fought by, or not decided, I should say. They are fought, but I should say they're not decided necessarily by the people, right? It's, usually people in power. But we're not going to politicize this in any way. We're not going to, we're not going to get into any kinds of discussions about, who, what, where, when, how, and why. We're going to appreciate the art of the deck. We're going to appreciate the messages of the deck. And we're hopefully going to find a little bit of magic in here as well. So let's open it up and see what we've got inside. So in the very front, it's a beautiful box, by the way. It's got a magnetic closure on there, like that. And we're opening it up like this, very sturdy. On the inside of the box, ignite your light. May your heart expand in love and peace so you can inspire humanity to do the same. Beautiful. We've got a thank you card, a little thank you message in here. Very nice. It says, Thank you for saying yes to the call and connection with this deck. Our hope is that this deck will inspire you to create peace and love for humanity, and that you will find your magic fern. When you've had a chance to feel and connect with this deck, please help spread the love. Take a photo, post it there. There you go. So just put that to the side. And wow, nice big book. Look at this thing. This is how many pages? A couple hundred pages. Yeah, we're at 193, including the QR code at the end, and it is in color. Lovely. This is, by the way, the box itself. I mean, you can see by my hand here, the box is quite large, as is the book is a decent size, so you can actually read it. Good size print on here. Let's open this up. I'm just going to angle my camera just a little bit differently for you there. There we go. All right, so Flower of the Magic Fern. And so we've got some information. This was published 2022, so it's been around for a while. I don't know who, let me see who published it. It might be independent. It might actually be independent. I don't see a publisher name on this or anything like that. So, you know, hey, show the deck creator a little bit of love if you like it. And I'll put her website down below when I'm done. So we've got how it started, how it evolved, how it works, all this stuff. So good for beginners. How to do readings. We've got a Celtic cross spread, 3-card spread. Do a few different things with the 3-card spreads, right? You do past, present, future, situation, obstacle, advice, mind, body, spirit. There's a whole bunch of other ways you can do that too. Medicine wheel spread. So there you go. So each card has a couple of pages here. So we've got a place for notes if you wanted to take any notes. We've got the Fool. We've got feeling, folly, enthusiasm, euphoria, believing and dreaming, reality and fiction. Ask yourself, how can my dreams become reality? How can I find my path if my heart is full of fear? Action, take a leap of faith. Proceed with your dream and trust when your intentions are pure and your heart is innocent. The whole universe has your back. And the essence, knowing applied through experience, becomes wisdom. Then it's got some verbiage about the card. And there you go. Yeah, so a couple of pages for each. Got the Magician. So there we go. So almost 200 pages of explanations in the book. So let's get the cards out. Oh, the back of the cards is very pretty. And there we go. The back of the cards, very pretty, and they are gilded. Yay! I am such a sucker for a gilded deck. You have no idea. I love it. They're just so pretty. Now let me find out. So the cards aren't as big as the box, okay, but they're still a little bit larger than a regular tarot card. They're a little bit more of an oracle card size, okay, so I've got fairly long fingers here, and so this covers the majority of my hand, right? I don't quite have man hands, but they are quite, they're not tiny either. So I don't usually have much trouble shuffling decks. But if you do, you're probably going to want to maybe shuffle them maybe this way or fan them out, or however it is that you work with your decks, but just know they are a little bit on the larger end. So I'm trying to figure out where to start, and I don't know. It looks like they're not quite in order there. So pretty thick deck. We've got the two there. They're just a little bit separated there because they've been stored separately in the box, so not a big deal. But again, gilded edges, absolutely gorgeous. I am such a sucker for the gilded edge decks. The back of the card, we've got these beautiful emerald ferns. Card stock, fairly decent. I would say it's about a middle of the road. It is flexible and bendy, yet it's probably stiff enough that it'll stand up to a little bit of wear. I'm very gentle with my decks. If you are really rough on your decks, it should still hold up for a bit. But of course, depending how rough you actually are. There was a few years ago, there was a guy in a group that I belonged to, and every single one of his decks looked like they'd been folded in half and shoved in his pocket and then put in the washing machine. And his decks gave me anxiety. I couldn't look at them anymore. So anyways, if you're that rough on your decks, nothing's going to stand up to it. So anyways, so I'm just going to put the box to the side for a minute, and let's look at these cards. I don't think I just had a really quick look there, and I don't think they're in complete order. We're going to give it a whirl. Actually, maybe. Hang on. Maybe. Oh yeah, no. They're not in order. You know what? I'm just going to pause the video for 1 second, and sometimes they do this with the independent publishers or whatnot, but I'm just going to pause it for a second. I'm just going to put at least the major arcana in order, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So let's have a look. These are beautiful, by the way. Actually, I'm just going to tilt the camera down just a little bit. All right, let's try that again. There is the Fool. Beautiful. Got some light coming off there. I think this is an AI generated deck, just by the looks of some of the images on it. But I do like the way that the AI stuff does the light. Does jump off the page. There's our Magician. Our High Priestess, filled with light. The Empress, filled with beauty. The Emperor, filled with fire. The Hierophant, filled with knowledge and wisdom, traditions and beliefs. Love. Notice how it's not called the Lovers card. It's called Love. The Lovers does tend to be interpreted as, romantic love, but love is everything, right? Love of self, love of others. Also, that card used to be called the Choice card, so we choose with our heart, right? Got the Chariot. Look how vibrant that card is. It's gorgeous. We don't have the traditional. This does deviate a little bit from some of the traditional imagery. It's, I would say, the imagery is not necessarily like Rider-Waite based. Okay, we do deviate from that. We keep the structure of the tarot, and then we kind of go a little bit sideways, which is fine. If you are a person that reads a little bit more visually, then this is certainly going to be a really good deck for you here as well, right? Got the Strength card. The Hermit, gorgeous. Like gorgeous, lighting our path, lighting our way. Got the Fortune's Wheel. Justice. The Hanged Man. It's chilling, letting things go. Opening our mind. Got the Death card. I do have to say, out of all the Death cards in all of the Death decks that I've got, this is one of the most beautiful. I mean, we do have like some skulls and things like that down at the bottom, but she's radiating a beautiful light out of her. It's a gorgeous Death card. I don't know if the camera does it the justice that it really deserves. Temperance. Now this one was interesting. So I noticed this one as I was, of course, putting the deck in order, and it wasn't too bad out of shape. But anyways, this is card 15, which is normally, of course, the Devil card. And in this deck, she has labeled it the Witch instead. Now, of course, the Devil card is, traditionally one of those ones where something has control over us. It's our temptations. It's our, our worldly desires, our habits and bad patterns and all these kind of things. And we're always encouraged and we're always reminded that we have the power to break free of negativity or break free from other people's point of view. And I found the witch a little bit interesting to be on here, and I would have to really consult the book to see, how it's intended. But witches, of course, historically have been persecuted, right, for their practices, for their beliefs, and they've been held in a negative light. And so it's almost like, in a way, the witch card on this deck is saying that your beliefs are true to you, and you have the power within you to break through and break free out of any negativity or anyone keeping you under control, under their thumb. And of course, we do see, we see TV shows these days about like witches and things, and we do see a lot of spirituality coming out into the universe. And of course, in some way, in some areas, our spiritual awakening has been a little bit hijacked, but we're heading to the light, right? We're breaking away. We're opening our collective consciousness in ways that have never been seen before. And it's scary to people in a position of power, right? Because we're breaking away from their control and their patterns, right? We're going to start seeing that more and more and more as we move forward. And so with the witch being shown on here rather than a devil, the witch can certainly show us and remind us of our power to break free of our old patterns and the control that has been wielded over us, so to speak, right? And it is a beautiful card. And we don't usually see this card being represented as beautiful. So believe in your personal power. Be true to yourself, right? Look forward to the future and don't let anyone keep that control, that power over you. We always have an opportunity to break free. So anyways, that's pretty much what I got out of this one. And because I did look at it and I'm like, why would they use the witch? And then, a couple of seconds later, I'm like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. So again, probably have to check with the book and see what the reasoning is, or what, the story is behind this particular card. But for me, initially, boom, right then and there. We've got the Tower. Now, it's interesting with this one too, because the Tower card is usually, sudden unexpected change, calamity, it tends to be a little bit of a scary card sometimes, right? It can be wonderful and it can certainly help us out. But it can be scary as well because we're letting things go. But this card looks like a fortified fortress of a tower, and it's not filled with destruction or anything like that. So again, it's a very interesting kind of image that would come out, because usually you see people jumping a tower on fire and people jumping for their lives, right? So this can certainly indicate that some change is good, that the old ways can become new ways peacefully, maybe. But anyway, so again, very interesting. We've got the Star, beautiful card, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Of course, hope and inspiration, miracles, blessings, healing comes in with the Star, our connection with the cosmos. All these wonderful things happen when the Star card comes out. It's also Aquarian energy, so we do look forward to the future, right? A better tomorrow, a better future, a more enlightened future there as well. We've got the Moon. Very interesting, a little bit dark and foreboding, a little bit mysterious, but also a little bit of light on there. Got a full moon on there. I always do look at the moon card to see if the creator of the deck has put a full moon on there, or if there's multiple moons, or if there's just like a crescent moon, because there's usually something there. The Sun, beautiful. Look at that sun. My goodness, I just looked at my screen there. Look at that sun pop off that card. Absolutely beautiful. Happiest card in the whole deck. Wonderful. We've got the Call, and this is the Judgment card. Okay. This is where we see the light. We answer the call. We see the truth. Something comes out of the darkness and brings us all the opportunity for peace and forgiveness and healing and letting go. But we can certainly see some truth to there. Things aren't the same as we get prepared to bring an end. We've got the World card here. Isn't that gorgeous? Meant to be, I'm sure, a stained glass window. But it's just beautiful and vibrant, as the World card should be. So very lovely. So the minor arcana now, I'm actually going to lay them because they did cut from the printer. I can see in fours, and they are grouped that way. So I'm going to lay them all down for a cross, and that way you can see them all four together. So we've got the Page of Air, the Page of Earth, the Page of Fire, and we've got the Page of Water. So gorgeous cards, very floral in these ones. Pages quite often do bring messages, also can bring news, and in the upright anyway, typically some good news or some information. So anyway, so beautiful, beautiful imagery on those. Actually, I'm just going to keep them laid down because I'm going to shuffle them later anyway. We've got the Messenger of Air, Stork. Storks can quite often bring new, right? Storks bring babies, but storks can also bring change and positive change usually. Messenger of Earth. I don't know what that is. Is that a quail or something? Anyways, we've got birds with the messengers. Okay, we've got a very loud, rooster here with the Messenger of Fire, and we've got the Messenger of Water. So those are our messengers. Now we've got our queens. We've got the Queen of Air, the Queen of Earth, the Queen of Fire, and the Queen of Water. So it's interesting how they've done this. It's not quite a pip deck. It's like a half and half kind of thing. Of course, pip decks don't usually have like the characters on here. So this has a little bit of a mix, right? We see flowers for the pages, but yet, and when we get to the queens and the kings as well, we actually do have people on here. So it's an interesting mix of things. But anyways, but those are your queens. We've got the King of Air, the King of Earth. He looks kind of grumpy, but anyways, but he's King of Earth is typically very successful and prosperous, that's for sure. The King of Fire, and the King of Water. And now we've got the minor. We got the Ace of Air. It's really quite pretty. The Ace of Earth, the Ace of Fire, a young lad, and we've got the Ace of Water. Interesting that we should have the Ace of Water, typically with water, right? Kind of being in the clouds, surrounded by a golden light. Again, very interesting. But the Two of Air, the Two of Earth, which oddly enough has 3 stalks of what looks like wheat put together. Anyways, but that's a 2 of Earth, not a 3. We've got a 2 of Fire, a 2 of Water, 2 people holding hands, typically love and things like that. Got the 3 of Air, Three of Earth, 3 of fire, 3 of water, 4 of air. 4 of air, interesting, because the 4 of air is typically is a very peaceful energy, right? We're at peace. We've got inner peace. We've got outer peace. And of course, this deck is created with the hope of love and peace for everyone. Peace is our future. Peace is our way forward. And humanity's been fighting wars for thousands of years, and it doesn't work. It's not the way of the future. So as we head forward into a more light-filled era, the hope is, of course, for a little bit of peace. But the 4 of air, also meditation, so meditating on what you want. 4 of earth. 4 of fire. Typically one of celebration and abundance. We've got a scepter here, and that's actually the same scepter that the king of earth was using that scepter. So the 4 of fire is here using that similar scepter. We've got the 4 of water. 4 of water. There is some writing on there. I don't know what it is. It's small. It's very small. And I'm not sure if it's in English. So anyways, I will have to consult with the book. The 5 of earth. Typically a card of lack. However, this is a reminder, all right, that we always have an ability to create abundance out of something. We just need to look at it differently. The 5 of fire. Five of water. Oh, am I missing a 5? Hold on. 5 of water. Oh, there we go. I just put it on the wrong place. No, I didn't. 5. Uh-oh, I'm missing a card. 5 of earth. 5. I'm missing the 5 of air. Did it get stuck on the 4 of water? Uh-oh. Well, I hope I'm not missing it. It appears that I am. I don't have a 5 of air. Okay. Well, that's disappointing. Hopefully I will find it somewhere else in the deck. Anyway, 6 of earth. Okay, I don't have 6 of air either. Oh, there it is. 6 of air. 6 of fire. And the 6 of water. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I'll look for that 5 of air later. Anyways, oh, there's the 5 of air. Just out of order. 5 of air. There we go. So 6 of air, 6 of earth, 6 of fire, 6 of water. Seven of air. 7 of earth. 7 of fire. And the 7 of water. Eight of air. Interesting that this could come up as a black cat. The 8 of air is quite often where we're feeling restricted in some way. And it's quite often an element of our fear, something that's keeping us trapped and bound. We have the power to break free or break through, right? But we sometimes have to work through our fears. So I will have to look, I'll have to look in the book because this is a black cat. And in In some cultures, some beliefs, black cats can be lucky. Okay, they can be guardians of the underworld. I mean, cats in general anyway. But in some cultures, black cats, depending on where they show up, if they cross your path, do you consider it lucky or unlucky? And so some people, depending on their beliefs, if you consider black cats unlucky or a sign of foreboding or something, then that would be a fear that you have to break through. So yeah, again, so interesting how that is depicted there. I consider black cats lucky myself, and I do have one. So he is a very lucky little boy. But anyway, but yeah, I'll consult with the book and see if maybe in Ukrainian culture, black cats do tend to bring a little bit of foreboding. Anyway, 8 of Earth, we've got our busy little bee. The 8 of Fire, beautiful horse. And we've got the 8 of Water. The 9 of Air. It's beautiful. The 9 of Earth. The 9 of Fire. And the 9 of Water. Ten of Air. And interesting, the 10 of Air, we actually see this like pinwheel type thing. This thing. We see that in the background here. 9 of Air to the 10 of Air. Obviously, that means something. The 10 of Earth can certainly bring prosperity and abundance. Those wheat fields. Got the 10 of Fire. Oopsies. Well, helps if I put them all in the right place, hey? 10 of Fire. And we've got the 10 of Water. Interesting. So, gorgeous deck. It is a very gorgeous deck filled with light and wonderful things. I want to check the black cat. So let's check where are we? That was the 8 of Air. So let's have a check there. Here we go. 8 of Air. Feelings. Bad news, crisis, conflict, a feeling of not being in control, a feeling of being trapped. How can I relieve the pressure I feel in needing to achieve my desires? Be willing to look at difficult situations in a new lens. And essence, when we're able to find moments to pause and find stillness, the path forward will present itself with absolute clarity. Traveling through the world of living and dead, the cat is both a guardian spirit and a harbinger of good. On the contrary, the cat is also a little demon, bringing harmful mischief and messages from dark forces. Okay, well, I have 2 cats, and yeah, they can be little monsters. I call them monkeys. Anyways, the cat can appear in colors of black or white. Witches or demons would often change form into black cat to spy upon others. When the cat appears, donning the color of the dark night on the road, before any traveler, it is believed that misfortune will soon follow. There we go, black cat crossing your path. Shamans say that to avert certain disaster, one was to throw a stick across the cat's trail so that the cat would follow in pursuit, diverted from the intended route of the traveler. In Ukraine, when there is a quarrel between 2 people, it is often said that black cat has run between them. Interesting. The cat is very connected to the spiritual world. Yes, they are, as he feels subtle shifts and changes in the mood of people and any fluctuations in the disposition of nature. Many believe that the cat can even see worlds invisible to the human eye. They see spirits and ghosts. Yes, they do, as well as the past and future, even into the afterlife. As such, the cat often accompanies those that live a life of magic as a companion and an indispensable partner in magical rites and mysteries. Cats were once recognized as such a loyal accomplice to witches that they also burned together with their enchantress. Transversing the fine line between good and evil, the cat has over time become known as a reliable protector and patron. At the same time, he also represents the darker servant of the devil. Interesting. The cat is a contradictory symbol, bringing both peace and quarrels to the house, and continues to be a cross-border symbol that lives between parallel realms of day and night. And let's have a look at the witch one, and just to see that. So, a narrow beam of light plays off the witch's face while she is shrouded in darkness and gloom. Her natural beauty conceals the power that lies within, waiting for the perfect moment to cast her evil spells. Her black unkempt hair bears the raven's feathers and is crowned with barren wigs and poisonous berries. The witch is useful and alluring as she draws the energy of the natural world, but the darkness within her cannot be disguised. The nature of the witch is twofold, just like our black cat. On the one hand, she belongs to the world of demons and the afterlife. On the other, she lives on earth and belongs to the world of the people. A witch is a woman endowed with extraordinary demonic abilities to harm people. Yes and no. Okay. This woman knows evil spirits, possesses supernatural power, and uses it to bring harm and manipulation. She can shapeshift and transform into whatever suits her means. A frog, a snake, a wheel from a cart, a cloth, or a ball of thread. There is no knowing until her evil will is done. She embodies duality with her appearance. During the day, she is a very pretty young girl or woman with a passionate appeal. At night, a scruffy old hag. The witch may look stunning at first glance, but take caution. She brings evil and hardship. Even if she's hidden from us, which is near. She is cunning and manipulative, spreading negativity and ill feelings. Protection is a priority. Now, purify your inner and outer surroundings to bring peace and clarity. So there we go. So just like the devil would have control and power over us, right? Our bad habits, our patterns, our lack of self-control, right? Or even us giving away our power, right? The witch kind of does the very same thing. So I don't see reversals in here. Okay, so I am a reader that I use reversals, okay? I don't necessarily use them with every single deck because some of the decks just don't call to be used that way, but I do use reversals. So just as the witch, just like the devil card can represent all of these things, if we were to reverse these things, remember we have the power to turn things around. We have the power to see beauty in negativity. We have the ability to take back our personal power and take back our charge of our life. And now I do have to just quickly say, witches, of course, again, have been persecuted throughout history, whether rightfully or wrongfully. And of course, a lot of people who are just healers or they worked with plants and herbs can be cast as a witch, right? Which isn't necessarily the truth. There are, just like anything else, multiple forms of witches. Okay. There can be, yes, ones that do work with the dark, right? Work with lower vibrational beings, we'll call them, right? And then you've got your high vibe ones that only do good, right? Remember, whatever you put out does come back to you. So, there is truth in that, right? But there is also another side of the coin, just like the cat, right? The cats can be perceived as either good or evil. So anyways, just depends on how you look at things in your world. But anyway, so there we go. So that is the flower of the magic fern. I don't know if you have this. If you do have it, let me know how this works for you. How have you connected with the deck? And also, if you don't have it, what are your thoughts about it? What are your impressions? I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think some of the imagery, I'm going to have to really read the book and get a little bit more insight, because of course there is a lot of tradition that is associated with this deck, and of course from a culture that I am not from. So my best friend's husband is actually of Ukrainian descent, but I think his family came here like 30 years ago or something. So, but they are a hell of a good cook though, let me tell you. But anyways, so yes, there are some things in here that I'm not necessarily going to understand via the imagery alone, just because some of it is like, oh, well, that's interesting. How come they use that there? So I'll read the book and I'll have a look and see what kind of associations are being used and for why in some of these. So, but yes, I would love to hear from you guys. I thank you for watching. I will put a link to her website down below. And if you feel like buying it, or if it's still available, I have no idea, then you can do so. I don't get any money or anything like that. Like I said, it just happened to jump into my hands when I was looking for a birthday present for myself. So there you go. Anyways, I thank you guys for watching. Check out my other listings down below: timeless readings, pick a cards, money and career, singles readings, timeless readings, all of those things. They're all listed in the playlists down in the description box. But I thank you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.